Hello everyone, I am Robert Stack, and you are watching Unsolved Mysteries. Tonight, the story of a disgruntled mall Santa who tragically lost his life in a sleigh riding accident, leaving behind his best friend in this world, the mall elf. And now, the mall Santa, affectionately dubbed Rosie Claus, is a spooky specter, a ghostly apparition, haunting the hallways of Wahpeton High School. Remember, where there's a mystery, somebody knows the truth. That somebody could be in our audience. That somebody could be you. Thank you for watching, and let's solve a mystery.
Oh, Rosie Claus, I miss you so much. No mall is gonna hire just an elf without a Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho! Hey, Keegs, maybe you should go back to high school and get your diploma.
Oh, maybe I'm gonna go back to high school now. I don't know, dude.
Randa, you work as a custodian, strange hours, late at night. Have you heard of Rosie Claus?
I have.
Have you ever seen the ghost of Rosie Claus?
I have not.
Do you think that this high school is possibly haunted?
I do.
You do?
I do.
It is a possibility.
It is.
Do you think any young students are being abducted around this school?
It's a possibility.
But you haven't seen for sure?
I haven't seen for sure.
All right. Thank you for helping us solve a mystery. Unsolved Mysteries, visiting with Ethan Manock. Have you heard of the legend of Rosie Claus?
I have.
And if Rosie Claus, the ghost of Rosie Claus, if it were here, what might you do?
Dunk on him. That's all.
Thank you, Ethan.
Yep.
Hi.
Hello, McCade Pickin.
So,
Have you heard of Rosie Claus?
the great Rosie Claus?
The great Rosie Claus. Have you heard of the legend of Rosie Claus?
I'm familiar with the legend of Rosie Claus, yes, Mr.
Have you heard of the ghost of Rosie Claus? No, you haven't?
No,
Do you ever feel like our high school is haunted by an evil specter that's abducting young students?
Sometimes I do feel the spirit come upon me, but I've never been able to, it's not tangible. I don't know what it is. Is that what it is?
It could be Rosie Claus.
Oh, no.
What are your thoughts on this abnormal apparition?
I feel my heartbeat racing massively as you bring up the legend of Rosie Claus and the ghost of Rosie Claus. I'm scared. I'm truly scared to come to the school now.
You should be afraid.
I am.
Very afraid.
I am.
We will try to solve this mystery.
Okay, thank you.
From one Pickin to another Pickin. Have you, in fact, heard of Rosie Claus?
I have heard of Rosie Claus.
What about the legend of Rosie Claus?
I have heard the whispers of the legends.
Rosie Claus, have you heard of the ghost of Rosie Claus? And do you feel like young students are being abducted at Wahpeton High School by an evil specter lurking in the shadows?
I have not before this moment heard of the ghost of Rosie Claus, but you know, sometimes when we're in class and the hallways are quiet, you do, in the distance, hear a ho, 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 ho. So maybe that's him, we don't know.
You might have helped solve a mystery. Have you heard of Rosie Claus?
I have heard of Rosie Claus, yeah.
You have. Have you heard of the ghost of Rosie Claus?
I have not. What's the ghost of Rosie Claus?
Well, Rosie Claus died in a terrible sleigh riding accident, and now his ghost haunts the hallways of Wahpeton High School. Do you know of anybody that's been abducted by the ghost of Rosie Claus?
Not recently, but I'll make sure to keep a lookout for that.
Thank you. You could help solve a mystery. Hello, Wahpeton High School students. I've got a couple of quick questions for you. Have you ever heard of the legend of Rosie Claus?
Yes, I have.
You have. You have heard of Rosie Claus. Have you heard of the ghost of Rosie Claus?
I have, yes.
Do you feel like Wahpeton High School is haunted by this ghost?
definitely do.
So are you afraid?
I'm terrified.
Terrified, really?
Yes.
How about you, young man?
I'm not afraid of Rosie Claus. When he was around, he was a chubby button. He just walked around all day long and just messed around the whole time.
We've been granted an interview with the Wahpeton High School Dean of Students, Dr. David Woods, to find out what is actually happening at Wahpeton High School. Dr. Woods, have you ever heard of Rosie Claus?
I have heard of a Rosie Claus, but I have not seen a Rosie Claus.
You have not seen a Rosie Claus?
I've not seen a Rosie Claus.
As the legend goes, the disgruntled mall Santa had a tragic sleigh riding accident in which he lost his life. And now the ghost of Rosie Claus is haunting Wahpeton High School. Any comments on the ghost haunting this school?
Well, I can't comment on anything. There's an ongoing investigation, so I'm not at liberty to say.
So you cannot comment on any sort of haunting?
Unfortunately, I cannot comment on haunting. I cannot comment on scaring. I cannot comment on a Rosie Claus in general. There's an ongoing investigation.
Okay, we're glad the authorities are investigating. Just one more thing. We have heard of the case of a few abductions of students during the school day at Wahpeton High School. Can you comment on that?
Again, I cannot comment on any abductions. It would be very unfortunate, and it would be, terrible for me to comment on something like that since there is an ongoing investigation.
All right. Thank you for your time, Dr. Woods. And basically no comment, not suspicious at all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ho, ho, ho. 3, 2, 1, Russell!
That wasn't even funny.
Do you believe in Rosie Claus? Have you heard about the ghost of Rosie Claus? Do you believe that this school is haunted? Have you seen anything to prove that it's haunted?
I believe in Rosie Claus.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, I farted, but I don't know if it was that.
Oh, okay.
Ho, ho, ho.
Okay. Definitely not.
Hey, everybody. Whoa!
Get up. It was just Rosie Claus.
Ho, ho, ho.
No!
That was cute. That was cute.
Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, I have a question. Mr. President, please. Yes. President Obama, you've probably heard in the news that some students have been abducted at a upper Midwest high school, Wahpeton, North Dakota. Will the chief executive be taking any action in this situation? I mean, the abduction of children has parents very worried.
I have taken this in great consideration with the Secretary of State and the Department of Defense. We have came to a conclusion to send SEAL Team 6 to deal with this menace in North Dakota.
SEAL Team 6, okay. So it's a paranormal ghost that's abducting these students. Do you think SEAL Team 6 can be effective against the paranormal? They call the ghost Rosie Claus.
This has been aware to us for quite some time. We've been working on some technology to deal with this. We'll say it's top secret.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Ho, ho, ho. You didn't catch me. Ho, ho, ho.
Jackson Cluden, have you heard of Rosie Claus?
I have.
Have you heard of the ghost of Rosie Claus?
I have. He's a ghost because his lungs are in a jar in Gilby's room.
Unsolved Mysteries was granted access to Wahpeton High School's head football coach, Mr. Wade Gilbertson. Mr. Gilbertson, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Have you ever heard of Rosie Claus?
Yeah, I've heard of Rosie Claus.
You have?
Yeah, I've heard stories.
Have you heard that Rosie Claus died in a tragic sleigh riding accident and is now the ghost of Rosie Claus and is haunting the hallways of this very high school?
I've heard those stories too, and I've heard some strange sounds up here late at night all by myself at the high school. So I wonder sometimes about that.
The show is Unsolved Mysteries, and we're wondering if you could offer any insights. Maybe you could help solve our mystery.
Yeah, I think I'm the missing link, so to speak, on solving this mystery. I know for a fact that it's Connor Rosenberg, a former football player of mine.
Rosie Claus is Connor Rosenberg.
That's my belief.
The disgruntled mall Santa was once one of your players.
Yeah, it only makes sense. Yes.
Why does it make sense? Did he die in a sleigh riding accident like rumored?
No, I don't think it was a sleigh riding accident. I actually saw Connor Rosenberg pass away myself, running 100-yard sprints on the football field.
So he died on the football field?
Correct.
Do you have any evidence of his death while under your supervision?
Well, this is my evidence.
That says Rosenberg's lungs. Can I take a closer look at that?
Yeah, by all means.
Let's take a look at that.
Put this mystery to bed.
This could solve the mystery. This is evidence. These are Connor Rosenberg's lungs. They're very pink. They look healthy.
They're very healthy, yes.
But I can't help but notice that they seem a bit undersized for an offensive lineman.
Yeah. That's what I think. That's Rosie.
Did they give Rosie Claus the breathing capacity he needed to survive a high school football practice?
Maybe. I think so.
And yet he died under your supervision.
He did. He did.
Thank you for helping us solve this mystery. Perhaps Rosie Claus was Connor Rosenberg. Thank you, Coach Wade Gilbertson, for your time today.
No problem. Thank you.
You know what, Rosie Claus? I'm so happy you came to see me. But I don't think you should be abducting small children in Wahpeton High School anymore.
You know what, Keegs? I think you're right. It's time to move on. Go on to bigger things, like Breckenridge. Ah, stupid magnet.
And there it is, yet another Mystery Explained, with the help of our viewing audience. Thank you for watching Unsolved Mysteries. And join us next week, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central, as we investigate the case of a Loch Ness-style monster found on U.S. Highway 10 east of Detroit Lakes near Kroll's Diner. Is it in fact a Scottish lake monster? Or could it be simply explained as overaged roadkill? Join us for the case of Roadkill Cafe. I'm Robert Stack. Good night, everyone.
He is the only man to ever ace a Rorschach test. Every time he goes for a swim, dolphins appear. Alien abductors have asked him to probe them. If he were to give you directions, you'd never get lost. and you'd arrive at least 5 minutes early. His legend precedes him, the way lightning precedes thunder. He is the most interesting man in the world.